pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Would you all please remain standing? A moment of silence for Mayor Joe DiStefano's father, Louis J. Chichi DiStefano, who passed away last week. Thank you. Please be seated. Roll.
Ramkissoon. Here. Tobin.
Here.
Steiner.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
John Francois.
Here.
Burr.
Here.
Green.
Here.
Massey.
Here.
Professor Artigas is absent. We have a quorum.
Okay. Approval of minutes.
Tonight we have minutes from the Common Council meeting of August 21st, 2018.
Motion by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Kleiner. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Correspondence.
Tonight we just have two correspondents. These came in late, so they were not in your packet, but they are going to be in your boxes. We did get a revised SLA liquor license for Jay's Place at 39 West Main Street.
Received and filed.
And then we received a notice from the DEC about the rescheduling of the CPV Valley. It's going to be the public hearing, which is changed, and you have that in your boxes, and I also put it on the website.
Received and filed.
That is all for correspondence.
Thank you. All right, at this point, for the good of the city, please, when you come up, state your name so that we have it. Be respectful. You've got 4 minutes. Thank you. Please.
Good evening. I'm Kevin Gomez, member of the Middletown School Board and serving as liaison to our city government here in Middletown. As you know, our school year has gotten off to a great start, and we're moving forward. I was happy to say, I think, working in partnership with our municipal friends here in Middletown and town of Wallkill. And I think what we could learn from this last year, then when we overcome and put differences aside, we can make a great difference. We see it with the school safety officer initiative, that through our partnership with the city of Middletown, with Mayor DiStefano and town supervisor Diana and the town of Wallkill, our schools have once again safety officers serving them and helping keep our children safe. We've been able to move forward to making sure that every child has the opportunity of having a meal for breakfast and lunch. And I also, again, want to acknowledge the partnership the city of Middletown and town of Wallkill has had with our school district during the summer. We were able to distribute food at different recreational programs, again, to make sure that our young population has food. And when it comes to studying, have a full stomach. It's hard to study with an empty stomach. And that way we want every child to start, we'll level the playing field and start fairly, and not be disadvantaged when it comes to food. And this year also we made possible that we're able to have school supplies available for our kids, grades kindergarten through 8th grade, so that again, every student can be able to come to the classroom with the essential supplies they need to get off to academic excellence. And we have a sound, stable reserve fund, showing that we know how to use our taxpayer money wisely and efficiently. And we just unveiled a new tennis court. So I'm very happy that our school will be moving forward, and hopefully with our working partnership with our local municipal friends, Middletown, town of Wallkill, and hopefully town of Wawayanda and Goshen, to take a little bit of our district, we can make a positive difference. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Hello, Pat Fody, Middletown. I'd like to apologize for the profanity I might have used at the last meeting. I have a few comments about our city's watershed. The watershed is the area of land that surrounds our reservoir. It's made up of pine trees that holds water and spring ditches and springs. Ditches carry this water to our reservoirs. This is the only source of water that fills our Highland Lake that holds about 550 gallons of water. To us, this is sacred land and never be disturbed for any reason. The less said to the public about the location of all our sources of supplies, the better off we are. If anyone wants information on Middletown's water system and its future, you can call me at 800-2146. Pat Fody, my knowledge dates back to 1953.
Anyone else? I forgot. Thanks.
Hi there, my name is Shannon Wong. I'm with the chapter director for the American Civil Liberties Union here in the Hudson Valley. And first, I'd like to extend my condolences to the DiStefano family and particularly the mayor on the loss of his father. We had the opportunity to meet with the mayor last Wednesday on September 12th to talk about the gentleman who was detained and deported here from Middletown. I can tell by the nodding heads that a lot of people share our deep concerns about what happened to someone who's lived in this community for 23 years. So we met with the mayor to sort of get some more information about what happened in that case. I'll say he was incredibly accommodating and gave a really prompt reply. We came here tonight, the crew of us here, to hear from him because we were looking for some clarity and reassurance to the community that the police department wouldn't be sharing information with ICE, which it appears they did not in this case, and that there would be some clarity around the use of their policy related to warrants. The mayor said he'd be here. It's completely understandable that he was unable to be here given the passing of his father. So hopefully we'll be back next time. But we really look forward to working with the city and the police department on helping to ensure that there's a warrant policy in place that ensures that all immigrant residents of this community feel safe and protected. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the council?
Good evening, Deborah Clark. I'm here to talk about the roundabout, okay, on County Route 78. I called last week. I started calling the DPW because I was getting a lot of complaints from people at Deer Run. We have a 210-unit facility right at Deer Run, in addition to where many of thousands of units that use County Route 78 as back and forth to work during the day. So if you take just Deer Run alone, there's about 400 to 500 cars just in one complex that has to go through the roundabout. I'm very, very disappointed in the way it was handled. The engineering, I don't expect Jacob, Mr. Terwell, to be sitting there, or Jude, who I've called many times on Friday, and thank you for returning my calls. And Sparrow, you returned my call last night. But it is very, very dangerous. I travel it myself minimum 4 to 5 times a day. I got hit on the curb. 1 minute you're going down one lane one day, the next minute you switch us to another lane. There's no warning. Cars are disarrayed all the time. There's not one day that I've gone by there that there's not a near miss. You can't have 2 cars going up and down 78 after that curb that is way out of line makes you go into the lane. A regular car can't even fit on the right lane. Yesterday, ambulance went down and it almost hit a car. There are no lights there at night that show the arrows properly. I think it was not done properly. The engineers, if you're changing lanes as much as you're changing that roundabout, it needs to be shown and new arrows put up on a weekly or daily basis that somebody is working on it. It is not being done properly. And I'm really concerned. I'm upset that nobody's done anything, and I'm not just the only person that's called. I am upset that the person that was supposed to get back to me on Friday from DPW, I forget the gentleman's name, never called. Jude called me twice, and again, like I said, you called me last night. It is not done properly. It is a hazard, and I really think that somebody, if you have engineers working on something and you change a lane here today, and tomorrow I'm supposed to use this lane, show something, put some more arrows up, put some lights up. Somebody told one of my neighbors, the generator might make too much noise, so we're not putting lights because the generator is too loud. I'm sorry, it wasn't done properly, and I'm really concerned.
Thank you. Anyone else like to come up and address us?
Hi, everybody. My name is Ray David Virgin. I'm living in Teddy Woods Place, Middletown, New York. I've been living here for 16 years, and I came from Mexico. I've been working real hard. Since I got here, I got my business and my family. My children, they go to the high school and the college in Middletown. I'm proud, so proud about Middletown. But after 2 detention, she mentioned 1 deportation to Mexico. And I had another one, my friend, they just deported 3 weeks ago. I don't know the reason why they deported, but I just feel like not safely in Middletown. After I build in my business, after grow up, and I say, wow, did I'm safely in Middletown? I'm really scared now. But you know what? I'm going to keep fighting with my people, for my people. And I still believe in Middletown is safely. So I'm in here because I want to support my community. And thank you for your time. And I'm going to keep fighting for municipal ID and driver license.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Remarks of department head. Economic development.
Good evening, everyone. Just want to give you a couple updates what's happening with the Business Improvement District and the city, and we've teamed up with the Orange County Chamber of Commerce for a Latino business connection and after-hours business mixer on October 4th from 5:30 to 7:30. You could go to our Facebook and website and get more information about this, and again, it's going to be held at the Paramount Theater that evening. Also, at the Paramount Theater coming up next weekend is our 2018 Sci-Fi weekend. Eileen has done a great job with this year's picks, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Invisible Man, E.T., all the classics, Aliens. So we look forward to a great weekend next weekend. And that's all I have right now.
Any questions for Maria? Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
Fire chief?
I have nothing this evening. Anybody has any questions?
Anyone questions for the fire chief? Thank you, fire chief. Police chief?
Good evening. Just one item for you this evening. This weekend we're hosting a outreach, the police department, sponsored by the PBA on King Street. We're doing a movie, Zootopia. Prior to the movie, we'll be hosting a barbecue for anyone that would like to attend. So it is free to whomever would like to come out, but we hope that people do come out and join us. Saturday 22nd, it begins at 6 p.m. at King Street, and the movie will begin about 7 p.m. Other than that, any questions?
Any questions for the chief? Chief, I just want to say a couple of things. I want to thank you and your department. As you know, we gave the police officer exam last Saturday, and we had 41 take the bilingual, 399 take the police officer exam. That was with us. We also had, I think, 84 that had cross-filed and were taking another test. And one of the tests they were taking happened to be a state test, and whenever you take a state test, you can't sit locally, you must sit. So I don't know if all 84 showed up yet. They'll send me the back, but there's a chance that well over 500 would have taken it. And I appreciate everything that you did and your department. They certainly helped out prior to the exam, and they helped out that day. And like I say, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and return the thanks to you, because I know that's a lot of work for your department to handle that large of a test, but thank you for the support.
And I just want to say this, anyone's watching that either took the exam or knows someone that took the exam, please, don't start calling. 18,000 people took police officer exams on Saturday, obviously not with me, but throughout New York State. The results probably won't be back until December, so please don't call September, October, November. As soon as we get them, we send the letters out to you, so please be a little patient. Thank you.
Thanks. Any other questions?
Any questions?
Thank you.
DPW Commissioner.
Good evening, Acting Council President Massey, council members. I want to start by expressing our sorrow and deep condolences to the mayor and his family for the loss of his dad. He was almost like a landmark in the first ward where I lived for over 20 years. So he's going to be missed. And in spite of that, the mayor, he was here today, and he basically took a tour over all of the construction sites, most of the construction sites that we have opened up in the city, there are quite a few of them, and made some notes, some comments. That included the roundabout, because he was concerned about it, and that included also the Elm Street, because he was concerned about, as the aldermen are concerned in here, of finishing it up and completing it. So we did quite a bit of involved tour, the mayor and myself, today, in spite of what happened to them over the weekend. And I appreciate that very much. When people pay attention to what we're doing, that's very much appreciated. So that's on behalf of me, my family, and the DPW, the entire DPW family, we express our sorrow and condolences. So regarding the projects, we talked about, we started with Elm Street. The EFC finally approved. Of course, I want to thank the council. The council, they said, here we're going to appropriate $377,000 in there from the city money to be bonded. If EFC does not approve the 0% interest. And we kept pushing and pushing and prodding, and sure enough, EFC on Friday, they sent us an email approving the project and funding it, not in the entire $377,000, but about $320,000, which we are very grateful to the state of New York and EFC. This way we're going to have to pay zero interest on this money. It's going to be borrowed from the state of New York. Under the state of New York, they will be paying the interest. City of Middletown taxpayers or sewer users will not be paying any penny for that interest. Of course, the state also gave us $1 million for that project, the Black Dirt Sewer. So the work has started today at Elm Street with providing temporary water services. I hear from Dr. Johnson and that some of the services, temporary services, are not working properly. So if anybody is watching from Elm Street, we have the contractor being dispatched there as we speak, and hopefully he will address your concerns. Tomorrow the water is going to be shut off in the entire Elm Street and surrounding community in their surrounding streets in order to provide the switch over from the old water main, which will be abandoned, to the temporary water main, which will be providing services to the residents. That will happen between 9 o'clock in the morning and 11 o'clock. A message has been sent on our Nexel phone service, and it's been posted on our website. And boil water notice has been delivered to the residents in that area, because once we switch over from the permanent water main to a temporary one, we're required by health department regulation to issue a boil water notice. So for anyone in that area in there, we're going to be providing bottled water. The contractor is. We give, like, I believe 3 cases for each house, that's going to be impacted. If you run out, please call DPW or just approach the contractor. And this project should be done by late October. So they started today, middle to late October. That project will be done. You're going to have brand new street, weather permitting now. Weather permitting, we're going to have brand new water lines, brand new sewer lines, brand new asphalt, brand new curbs and sidewalks. And we sincerely, again, regret the inconvenience and what you guys had to suffer through. But money is scarce, and we had to try everything to get the most out, out of the state for our project. And then I will address any other questions you may have. The roundabout project, I want to personally apologize from Miss Deborah Clark in there. I know her for many years, and it's unfortunate what has happened and the complaint that she expressed, and I take that to heart. And to be fair, I spoke to her about Alderman Jude telling me that on Friday and all that stuff, and I was supposed to call her too. But it's a very involved project. It's a very difficult project in there. That's a major route in there. She knows. I got 200 people and residents in Deer Park. I don't know if you multiply that times 2, that's 400 cars. And everybody else in there from Bella Vista to everybody who's coming down from Mount Hope that is the reason why we constructed this roundabout. We knew it was going to be a pain during the construction. We had our website posted. We had 3 detours throughout the construction. 3 rerouting, really. It's not a detour. Nobody had to go around County Route 78 or anything like that. It was extremely difficult. It's not the most convenient thing. We had a flagman in there during the construction. We had lights on the barrels. Now, Deborah, she just told me they're not there anymore. I will check it out tonight. The reason why I went there this morning with the mayor is to check on the traffic pattern and the safety. The police chief has stationed the police car in there when we heard a complaint. One complaint came to the mayor's office, and the police chief stationed the police car to observe the traffic in there for a few hours. I don't know, at least for good part of the morning. I'm there myself for good 45 minutes every morning observing all this. There are some things in there the contractor needed to do, which is basically solid double yellow line in there on County Route 78, and he did not do it because the pavement has been wet. And instead of interrupted line, it's got to be a solid double yellow line. There's an awkward turn that Deborah was talking about, and I agree with her. And unfortunately, it's a very difficult project, and we'll take what she said to heart. And I apologize for any inconvenience for her or the public. If there is any tire accident or anything like that, please just call us tomorrow, and we will address that. And I know her intentions are not just financial. It just she's upset about the entire operation. CPV, John, he spoke about the public hearing. It's going to be this month on the 26th at Orange County Emergency Center, and that's for the air emission, or what they call air state facility in there. That's the permit that CPV is waiting for in order to be operational. If you recall the smoke and everything like that, then that's all taken care of. But anybody who wants to voice any opinion, I'm not advocating one way or another. But, instead of people screaming at us, please feel free to go over there and express your feelings to the DEC that's holding the public hearing, where they will be, your voice will be much more effective over there rather than here. But everybody obviously is welcome to talk here. The Orange and Rockland, there are, you may have noticed there have been substantial amount of work for Orange and Rockland at Academy and Houston in there. And they ripped out the sidewalk and they installed the gas main under the sidewalk. And the reason is that these 2 roads are congested with our utility lines and our water and sewer and the old gas main and all that stuff. So they ripped it out. They put temporary asphalt. Now they are mobilizing to go in the middle of October, scheduled for the middle of October, their contractor, to go rip out all that asphalt, which is temporary on the sidewalks, which we don't allow in the city, and it's all going to be replaced with brand new concrete sidewalk. And that is targeted to start middle of October, according to Orange and Rockland. Another item is Route 211. Some of you may have seen the signs. I remember the mayor, Route 211 in there by the entrance of the city. It used to be a very poor shape. You have very huge potholes in there. The mayor was advocating with the town of Wallkill for a couple of years with the commissioner of DOT and so on and so forth, and even up to the governor's office in order to repave that road. Finally, with the efforts of the town, obviously, and the mayor's prodding, I believe, that project is finally going to start on Monday, The entire paving of 211 is going to be done at night. And again, I'm talking about the entrance, 211 coming from from east to west. Yes, from east to west by the old diner. And so the paving is going to take place overnight. It's going to start Monday night. All the paving and milling is going to continue overnight. We're going to ask the contractor to extend his, because they have to stop by City Line, because that road belongs to the DOT, to the state. So we're going to ask the contractor to extend his paving. I discussed that with the mayor today, to extend his paving from City Line all the way up to the traffic light in there by Wisner and Wickham Avenue. Because this way we have an old, 3 lanes that are old. The asphalt needs replacement, so the contractor will have to continue milling, and the city of Middletown will pay for it from our state money. So that will be happening. The entire operation is going to take 1 month, that paving operation on 211. At all times, they will have 3 lanes open, but obviously, please use caution, even at night in there, because there's going to be some big milling machines and truck coming in and out. It's going to be a construction site, busy construction site, so please be careful. And the wastewater treatment plant, just to report to you about our revenue. We generated last month in August, the wastewater treatment plant generated $40,000 of accepting septage from outside city septage haulers, and that's revenue that we use in order to subsidize or to pay for the operation of the wastewater treatment plant and to fund the investment that we do in our infrastructure. So far this year, we have generated $327,000 from just accepting septage from outside haulers from outside city of Middletown, and that's the revenue generation. And we had a water main break Houston Avenue on Saturday, and we took care of that. I'm sorry I was a little bit long, so if you have any questions for me.
I'm assuming that the next 4 meetings you won't be speaking?
Well, the mayor said that I could have his time.
Wow. Oh, Dr. Johnson,
It was risky.
please.
I know it's very risky. However, I did speak to Jacob earlier, and I know you have a lot on your plate, but I did take an opportunity to walk down West Main Street at about 1 o'clock, because I thought rain would be a good time to see how it's going. How do you think the West Main Street project is going?
To be honest, under the circumstances, it's doing very well. Just the amount of water and the wet season that we've been having in there, the contractor, especially the Manhagan Brook contractor off West Main Street, he was struggling very hard in there, installing a huge, large pumps in there just to bypass and coming up with different methods in there. I know the owner of the company themselves, they were there at the site at all times, and one of them was running the excavator, and they were paying attention to the operation. It's moving along, it could, of course, they always could have been faster in there, but that's where we are. I know, like you did, I spoke to some of the residents in there, and I go there almost on a daily basis, maybe not as much as the roundabout, but I do go there. And anybody that I talk to, they're very appreciative of the contractor and the hard work they're doing, and they know that they're trying their best. And but I would request that any questions or any issue, address them to the engineer or the engineer's representative at the site, rather than talking to workers for the contractor. This way they will get the message, rather than, the worker doesn't know what's planned for tomorrow or the day after. He may not know the right question, the right answer, and this way that creates confusion. But by all means, call us or call you guys or Alderwoman Rankasoon in there, and you reach out to me and we'll get you the right answer. We can go meet with the property owner at the site like we've done before, and it's a very difficult situation. Maple Hill Park, we had problems with the payment through HUD. Nobody's fault. It's just that's the way they're very critical about the completed paperwork. On the 24th, on Monday, we're going to have an audit by HUD. They're coming down to the site to review all of our paperwork. They're going to go walk the site, review it, and we expect good results. By the way, the roundabout, I should have said that too, and I will address any other points, but I don't want to forget that. We had the DOT team came down from Poughkeepsie today to audit the roundabout, the construction, the signage, all the paperwork, all the change orders, and as far as I know, I was there with them for about 2.5 hours this morning, Everything went very smoothly at the roundabout. There are no issues in there. There was one plan that was needed for paperwork. The engineer said we submitted that, and DOT did not have it in their computer because everything has to be logged in into their software. So that's, DOT did an audit today at the roundabout. I forgot to say that. My apologies. So you have other
I
questions?
apologize, I just have one other question. Part of the brook closer to the park, I was in at property 252 today, and the brook is level with the ground. Is that all going to be built back up eventually?
No. You're talking about you're talking about the tributary, the stream.
Right.
The stream that leaves Maple Hill. Yeah. No, that's designed to carry a small amount of water in there. It's not supposed to be any. I mean, you got almost 1 to 2 feet. I don't remember exactly the details of large riprap in there. So all the water, you don't see it up on top. You see it running through it. Sometimes you see it on top, but most of it is running through the stone.
Okay.
We do want them to identify that swale a little bit more. That's only tributary now. Most of the water, when you have major storm, is going to be carried through a larger box culvert that is installed to the side of it.
Okay.
And this is what has been added to this project. So only small amount of the flow is going to go through this swale. Let's call it a swale or tributary stream. The rest of it is going to go through the large box culvert. And this week, weather permitting, they're going to be installing the inlet structure, which will require a huge crane to come in. So they're waiting for the weather to cooperate, and then they'll get the crane in here, install the inlet structure, and that will activate the bypass box culvert. Hopefully that answers your question.
Perfect answer, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
I apologize.
Alderman Tobin.
I have two questions, too. For the roundabout, just real quick, and I got a call as well, as concerned about that. How much longer do you think it's going to take to finish it? Any more lane changes or changes of traffic? And, you talked about what we're going to do to make it safer, just,
Yeah,
some people had some close calls there.
Again, traffic lanes, I believe it's only been changed 3 times ever since the construction started.
Just the last
Those
one?
lane changes are posted on our website before even the construction started. I believe they should be already posted on our website for people to study it and evaluate it. But it's complicated. We don't expect anybody who's going to go, get up in the morning and just get to work to understand and review the plans. But everything has been posted. Everything we could do in there, we felt that we did by posting it on our website. Is this the last lane change? I believe so, because after that, they might have some minor issues in there to change them around, but we're coming to the end of it. Probably 3 weeks, the whole project will be completed in there. The improvement that you asked me for, I did address them before. The lane heading up County Route 78 towards Bella Vista and towards Wawayanda Avenue, instead of having that dashed double yellow line, we wanted it to be continuous double yellow line in there in order to identify the location much better for people who are driving. And we will look tomorrow also about that. My understanding were, because I live there too, I live very close to that roundabout, and I use it all the time. It's not the easiest thing to use, but you gotta be careful and just follow what you can see. I'm not saying anybody did anything wrong, from the public. It's their right to expect the safest road they can have, but that's a messy construction site, and we try to do it as much as make it as safe as possible. And there are improvements that will be needed in there, and that's part of the reason the mayor and I went over there this morning.
All right.
So that's where we are.
My second question, the safe yield, that's to pay for a study of the safe yield, the resolution for 7,200?
Oh, that's an additional, 7,200, that's an additional money that is required. Now, people are saying, when they call my office, Jacob is busy. My office has been concerned because I've been working on this safe yield in there because with the DEC, we've been going back and forth with the DEC for a couple of months now about supplying water to Amy's Kitchen and to prove to them that we have adequate water supply in there. So part of this $7,200 is additional work that the DEC asked
That we do?
to model, yes, to remodel. Not, I can't do it with my own staff. It's a big, huge computer program with algorithms, and they're embedded in it that were designed by Jacobs Engineering from Atlanta. So they have to go through that and remodify the runs in there. Hopefully, we can get reimbursement for this money, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, the mayor and I, from Amy's. We're gonna try to shove that cost over to them. We're gonna see what happens in there, because we're doing all this just to justify for the DEC that the city of Middletown has water for Amy's Kitchen. Then we are exploring other safe yield permanency for Mill Pond, which we are exploring with them, but we decided to put that on hold for now until we finish Amy's Kitchen, because Amy's Kitchen is under the gun to finish, to have everything completed, accepted by the DEC by middle of November. Otherwise, they're saying we're leaving. We're not going to go through the secret process all over again, because the secret will expire, their secret, and they're going to have to go through the whole process again, public hearing and everything like that. Goshen does not have, they cannot just wave a wand and say, okay, you can, we'll give you another extension. They have to go through the whole process all over again, and they said we're not going to do it. So the mayor and I are working as diligently as possible in there with our consultants, and that's what I've been embedded in my office, and maybe that's part of the reason why what happened with the.
Anyone else have any questions?
Thank you.
Of course, Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Jerry's got one. No, Commissioner, please.
He's rushing me off, so I'm.
Norm,
What do you want me to do?
I want to thank you for coming to our second ward constituents meeting. It's very helpful, so in the middle of everything else you're doing. But just one quick question, and I think of it every time I come in on a rainy day and open the handicap door, that hallway and the leaking roof. It's something that ESG was supposed to be taking care of. Do you think that sometime before too long, ESG could come in and update us on, because they were doing so many projects in the city? Do you think they could give us an update on how those projects are going and when they might have that roof fixed?
Yes. ESG, they wanted, and again, I'm not, just from memory, ESG, they wanted to provide us, to charge us around $140,000 for that atrium in there, just to repair, fix it, and take it out and replace it. And we got prices from people who specialize in this kind of thing. It's about $110,000. So we've put the brakes on it with ESG in there because we had a better price, but now we have to comply with our procurement policy, putting it out for public bid and so on and so forth. So now we're doing the, I'm sorry to give you a long answer. There's nothing easy in our life. We're doing the federal courthouse in there. Then that means the city court is going to move from here to the federal courthouse. So we're saying maybe we can get the architect to design it in there as part of the, hopefully, expansion of the, but it's complicated, I know.
I know. I just get embarrassed because that's our handicapped entrance to City Hall, and you have barrels and you have a leaking roof, and it's been gone on way too long, and we should get it fixed, whatever we have to do.
Understood.
Thank you.
Yep.
Spiro, you have something else?
Commissioner.
Anyone else?
Yes.
All right, you do?
Sorry to bring back the roundabout. I know it's pretty dark there at night. Is there anything you could do in your power to just light it up at night?
Yeah, well, we're going to check the barrels, all of them, they had flashing beacons in there.
Okay.
But I heard that they're not.
Yeah, for the most part, most of them are out already.
They're not. So we'll check on that, and that's what we can do in there. That really will delineate the roads in there very well. And
Hey, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Anyone else? City Clerk.
I have nothing.
You sure?
I'm sure. I yield my time to Jacob, the commissioner.
Not even an election year. All right. I do have a couple of things as civil service, and it's, I want to recognize Maple Hill Elementary School. That's where we held the exam. We had close to 500 people. They did an excellent job, and George Burris, the custodian over there, was absolutely tremendous, helped out an awful lot, and we certainly appreciate it. And I just want to give one last shout out to the young lady that works for me, Pam Welch. Through this whole thing for the last 4 months, she's been outstanding in everything she did, and I appreciate it. Okay, petitions and complaints?
Nothing this evening.
The mayor's not here. Remarks of Alderman. Alderman Tobin.
Nothing this evening.
Alderman Green.
I just want to also extend my condolences to the DeStefano family and also thank Commissioner Tawil for coming to our second ward meeting. It was very well received. Thank you very much.
Alderman Johnson.
Thank you. With respect to Pat's remarks, I wasn't the target of his remarks last time, but for somebody to come to public and apologize, I think that's, as far as a council person, apology accepted. With respect to the deportation, I think it was 2 years ago in my day job, I had a gentleman come to the office because he was leaving the country with his pet, and he had some paperwork to do. And I learned his story. He was 18 when he got here from Mexico, and he was 38 when he was being required to leave the country. He came to the office with his two nieces, aged probably 5 and 7. It was a remarkable moment. And to meet somebody right there standing next to you who says, well, I was here, and now I'm not going to be here. And I may not see these children again. It's not clear to me what my future will hold. I did speak with the mayor shortly after that article was in the paper, and I did feel a little bit better as an individual that Middletown law enforcement was not really involved in that case. But that's really besides the point. The point is, how do we move forward, and how do people navigate? I don't have a solution, I just have an observation. The roundabout, I'm glad we're addressing it. I drive through it. I'm not still sure where to go. If I was new and I happened to make a left-hand turn in Middletown, New York, I probably would hit something because those arrows are not clear. Enough said, let's address it, let's fix it. 3 weeks, let's have a roundabout. Elm Street, I thank you for all your efforts. A gentleman called at about 6:58 this evening to my answering service. By 7:30, Mayor Jacob was speaking to him, and we got the issue resolved. I did walk down West Main today in the rain just to see what it looked like. Most of the, no, I wouldn't say most, all the residents are pleased with the communication. It's just not entirely clear what to expect, and I'm sure we can resolve that. And on a positive note, congratulations to the middies keeping the bell. Thank you very much.
Alderman Ramkinsoon.
Good evening. I just would like to extend my condolences to the mayor and his family tonight as well. I think a sign of a life well lived would be that line out the door that I saw on Sunday, and truly a lot of people came out to pay their respects to this family that's had such an impact on our community, so my heart goes out to them. For Elm Street, I just want to say thank you to the residents there because they've been unendingly patient with all that's gone on there, and I look forward to seeing that finally wrap up. And other than that, I just echo, Deb, your concerns are valid. I've been there, I tried to make it right now on that new pattern, and it is complicated to make right. You do need 2 lanes open to make that turn. So just looking forward to that being done as well, and that is all I have this evening, so thank you.
Alderman Kleiner.
Thank you. Chi-Chi was a legend in Middletown, and I don't know anybody who didn't know him or know of him, and so my condolences to the DeStefano family. He will be missed. Our Parks and Rec supervisor is not here tonight, so on her behalf, this is the fall, winter, spring schedule for our recreation department. It's always unbelievable how much they do and how much is going on, so I don't know any city in the state that does more with their kids than we do in Middletown. So thank you to them, and these are available to pick up. I went to the opening of the Mill Street Cafe. It had a ribbon cutting last Friday, and they're open 8 to 3. They're at 34 Mill Street. They're the big brick building on the corner with all the additions and the apartments. And this is a recap project along with so many others, cooperation with so many different people. Of course, the Rowleys are involved, the family, they always are. And thanks to everyone and congratulations. And 8 to 3, this is their menu. Stop by, the food's really good. Give them a try. That building's been here is actually, I'm going to sneak in a little Middletown history. At 1873, that was the Babcock and Fuller hat factory. It was their expansion building, their original one, then burned down. And then eventually in the middle of this last century, early part, middle, it was the Middletown Knitting Mills. So that's the name they're going with the Mill Street building. But, you know, RECAP's motto is a hand up and not a handout. So give it a try. Yesterday was Constitution Day. I think we all should go back and reread the Constitution and see it was their best effort at the time, and we try to honor it. Next meeting at 7 o'clock on October 2nd, there will be a Communications Committee meeting, which hopefully we'll be trying to get some legislation that we can all agree on for the municipal city ID. And I thank the folks who came out and Shannon Wong tonight to talk about resisting the climate of fear. And hopefully they will be back and bring their message again. I know the mayor will speak about that. And finally, we have and congratulations to the Middies again for keeping the Erie Bell here. There are some of those kids now who, through their whole high school career, had the Erie Bell, and that's great. And the resolution we have tonight on the Heritage Trail, it's for us to approve the changes in the easements. Then it has to go back to the county legislature for them to approve the changes in the easements. So we have lost another whole year of construction. And I think, as I've mentioned before, they built the whole damn railroad with no power tools by hand in 3 years from Goshen to Middletown. So let's hope we can get a walking trail before too long. A lot of people are counting on it. We're planning the city around it, and we need it. So let's hope once that gets approved and those agreements get signed, it moves forward at lightning speed, and we can start designing the rest of it while we're working on it. And one final thing, September 29th, since that'll be before our next meeting, that's when so many people, young men and young boys from Middletown broke through started the battle that broke the Hindenburg Line that really won World War I. It wasn't World War I, it was the Great War then. And a lot of them didn't come back. There's a contingent, the Orange County Historian's Office has people over there actually going to the site to commemorate it. And this November, of course, will be 100 years on Veterans Day of the Armistice. So, I mean, it's something we should all keep in mind. Again, Middletown did way more than its share. Thank you.
Alderman Jean-Francois.
Yes, good evening. I think we've been fortunate so far with the roundabout. Before something drastic happened, and we just got to get a hang of it and get it done. Thank you. That's all I have this evening.
Alderman Burr.
My condolences, Joe and his family, on the loss of his dad. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just have one thing. I received a letter from John Perino, President of the Board of Education, and it said, Alderman Massey, Dear Alderman Massey, on behalf of the Middletown School Board, I'd like to thank you for attending the dedication of our new tennis courts on Friday, blah, blah. Despite the weather, your attendance was noted and appreciated. We are very grateful for the cooperation and mutual respect between the City of Middletown and Middletown School District. The only reason I read that is because I can see that from number of years ago, we are now starting to mesh together, and I think that's a good thing. And I know that people have asked about their meetings. I've been to the last couple of meetings, and I think they have some equipment to purchase, and they may at some point hopefully come back to us, and maybe we can get back their meetings televised too. But it's nice to see now that we're all cooperating. Unfinished business.
Nothing this evening.
New business.
Tonight, we have a resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, second by Alderman Green, to close the corner of Highland at the YMCA Liberty Street location to the corner of Cantrell from 12 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. for the Harvest Festival in conjunction with the YMCA and the Middletown Elks Lodge on Saturday, October 27th.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, seconded by Alderman Green. Any comments? Yes, Alderman Kleiner.
Thank you. I'm not sure exactly what this involved. I haven't seen, I mean, I know Trunk or Treat, and it sounds like a great project, but the closing of Highland Avenue, I'm not sure what the arrangements are. So I'm going to move to table this till the next meeting.
Is there a second to the table? Alderman Green?
Got a question? Can you
Absolutely.
discuss the table motion?
There's no discussion on the motion to table.
What?
There's no
Oh,
discussion
you don't
on the
need-
motion to table.
Can I get a point of information there? Like, when is?
Yeah, you can
Will
do
we have
that.
time and
It's 27th of October. There's
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. Okay.
All right, motion to table. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, it's tabled.
Thank you.
The motion by Alderman John Francois, second by Alderman Ram Kasoon, to authorize the issuance of an additional $377,000 bonds to pay part of the cost of replacement of the black dirt sewer project.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman John Francois, seconded by Alderwoman Ram Kinsoon. Any questions, comments? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr, second by Alderman Johnson, to transfer $5,000 within the 2018 operating budget of the Middletown Recs and Parks Department to cover a shortage of funds due to the increase of special events.
The resolution sponsored by Alderman Burr, seconded by Alderman Johnson. Comments, questions? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, second by Alderman Tobin, to transfer $30,734 from the general fund balance for lightning protection for 2 additional city-owned buildings.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Green, seconded by Alderman Tobin. Comments, questions? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
No.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, second by Alderman John Francois, to authorize the mayor to sign a revised easement agreement with the County of Orange for easements for the Heritage Trail in the from Goshen to Middletown.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Kleiner, seconded by Alderman Jean Francois. Comments, questions? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Burr, to approve a safe yield model regarding Mill Pond and Innocott Creek and authorize a transfer of $7,200 from the water fund balance to fund the project.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Burr. Comments, questions? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman John Francois, second by Alderman Kleiner, to accept a proposal for professional engineering and survey services for 17 to 39 Million Avenue Extension sidewalk design from Fusco Engineering and fund the design work from the capital project line H956900.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Jean Francois, seconded by Alderman Kleiner. Comments, questions? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin, second by Alderman Green, to accept a proposal from Agus Design for architectural services for the Davidge Park extension in the amount of $52,000.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Tobin, seconded by Alderman Green. Comments, questions? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Burr, to transfer $25,200 from the sewer fund balance to begin emergency repairs at the wastewater treatment plant by TAM Enterprises.
Resolution sponsored by Alderman Johnson, seconded by Alderman Burr. Comments, questions? Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. That is all for new business.
Local laws.
Tonight, we have the vote on local law number 3 of 2018 to streamline the process for providing notice of bulk sales of unpaid tax liens. This is sponsored by Alderman Johnson, second by Alderman Kleiner.
Roll.
Ram Kasoon?
Aye.
Tobin?
Aye.
Kleiner?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
John Francois?
Aye.
Burr?
Aye.
Green?
Aye.
Massey?
Aye.
Resolution passes. That is all for local laws.
Orders of claims and accounts, Alderman Johnson.
Mr. Chairman, I move the accounts be audited, the claims be adjusted, and the city treasurer be authorized to issue warrants for their payment.
Seconded by Alderman Burr. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
So